Okay, can you guys hear us, and can one of you say something so I make sure it's coming through
Yeah.
on the thing?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you guys hear us, and can one of you say something so I make sure it's coming through on the thing?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yes, I know.
Yes.
Can you? So it's just echoing from the YouTube.
Oh,
Cause it's like a minute behind, so
Oh.
as long as I can hear that echo, I know the YouTube are working and we're good to go here. You are live and being recorded, so.
thank you, Gina.
Dana.
Dana,
No worries, it's fine.
Thanks, Dana.
thanks, Josh.
No problem.
Okay. When you're done, you can just hit end.
Just hit end, okay, great.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'll call this meeting to order at 4:10 p.m. And present is Karen Clark, Joette Langese, Corey Shirtliff, Jacques Hadler, Tori Hill. Open public comment. We're going into approval of the minutes. Now, these minutes are from 2/8/24. And we voted on them last time, but I'm sorry, Corey voted and Charlie and Karen were not appointed yet. And so those minutes need to be reapproved, but there's only 3 of us here that were in that meeting. And so.
Does anyone know so, for example, I wasn't on the planning or the boundary
No,
commission at the
it would have been
time.
Evan.
Yeah, it would have been Evan.
And so it would have been Evan, Charlie, Karen, and I, and that would have been a quorum, but Charlie's not here either, so. I don't know the
Do we need
protocol for
4?
that, do you, Joe? Ed?
Do we need 4
Yeah,
to vote? And because
well-
Jacques wasn't there on the 24th, he doesn't feel like he could vote for the minutes.
I'd be happy to vote for the minutes.
Well, then I make a motion that we approve the minutes
Okay.
from February, whenever that was in 2024.
February 8th, 2024.
Great. Yep. 2/8/24. Wow. That was
Do
2
we have a
years
second?
ago.
I know.
Are you-
We only meet once a year and this is, it's like, I had to even read back. Okay, now who is there and who can vote? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And all in favor, Karen, you can vote on this because you were in that meeting.
Yeah, I.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Thank you. And approval of the minutes from last year, 2/13/25.
Motion to approve minutes from
Second.
February 13th, 2025.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I think I can vote on that one, right?
No,
Yeah,
you're
you
not
were
a
there.
voting member.
I didn't think
Oh.
so. A voting member at all. I'm just a representative. Okay.
Yeah. That's what got us into trouble last
The
year.
fix
Because
of
we were
the
like, Corey,
24th.
you're
That's what I
always
thought.
here.
That's what I
You're
thought.
always here.
Sounds good.
Okay, Corey, do you have anything in the pipeline there that we need to be thinking about?
We've been approached. It's not formal, but a property that is south of town that is adjacent to the city's annexation stem off the USU campus. So continuing to coordinate with our attorneys and the understanding of annexation policies, how that could be applied. So there may be no formal submissions, but concept of annexation of a property off of or between 191 and Mill Creek that could have adjacency through a right of way, the highway. So that will be one that will be very interesting. It may have qualifying terms for not affected entities per se, but descriptions of peninsula type annexation. So that'll be something the city will be working through going forward. So there is one that's currently being discussed. There's no active applications other than that I think we can mention. And when it may be appropriate in this meeting, would it be worth quickly commenting on our current understanding of the Boundary Commission's role to review and either qualify or disqualify affected entities on objections, whether they're qualifying entities or not. The objections come through. We had that recently happen. I'm wondering if it's worth discussing quick, or we just say the policy is
I
fine.
wouldn't mind discussing that, because I was kind of frustrated about the whole thing, because
Yeah.
it went back and forth with varying people.
Mhm.
No, you know, they don't have standing.
Mhm.
Yes, we need to be the ones to determine if they have standing, and then, you know, if the city and you coming back, no, they don't have standing, but then I was still getting
Mhm.
information from Stephen that we still need to be the determining entity. And then at the very end, what was it, the day before the meeting?
Yep.
You know, so.
Yeah.
So
So-
I'm wondering, Tori, if maybe he had a conversation with our attorney, Nathan, because I think there was a discrepancy between our attorney and the county attorney as to what level of involvement the Boundary Commission has when it's really
That's
clear from the get-go that they don't have standing. In fact, their protests weren't protests of the annexation, they were protests of the site plan, the
density.
development
Yeah.
itself.
I think
And
ultimately that was
so-
the piece that last piece, Mayor,
Yes.
that was that's the hinging piece of disqualification versus this objection isn't an objection at all, which was, I think I had a commentary to Tori. I was like, I believe
Yeah.
this is the legal analysis.
No, I really appreciated y'all coming back to me, because I only go by what I can read, you know, in the state laws.
Right.
And I'm not an attorney, so, you know.
So yeah, on that note, since we're diving in, maybe now is acceptable. As I think the status quo of the policy, as I understand it, is that the Boundary Commission would convene to disqualify a non-affected entity as is defined by the state. However, in this last instance, the two objections were not objections to annexation. They were testimonies that did have a place, but not to an objection of the annexation. There are objections, as you said, Mayor, to the standards of policy of pre-annexation or development specifically, which did not warrant a Boundary Commission disqualification because they weren't objections at all.
Right.
Except for the last protest we had before this latest one was the same situation. It was really clear that they didn't have standing. So
Yes.
I guess the question is, do we determine standing? Because the way, you know, and that's where I think it gets a little confusing, because it's pretty defined and it's pretty specific. And, you know, you can read a letter when somebody protests and know that they don't have standing just based on the law. And so it just seems kind of, I guess, a waste of time for us and for the protesters for us to move forward with them thinking that they might be able to, you know, have a disqualification when we know right off the top that they don't. So
Right.
I'm wondering if we could get some legal clarification so
Yeah.
that if it comes up again, and we can always have, I don't know who the best entity to do that, because I think the protest letter actually this last time went to Dana. And
Who
so
received
who
it?
would say,
Well,
you know, if
it was written to Grand County and the Boundary Commission. And
oh, was
so,
it? Yeah.
well,
And
that's
that's,
why it ended
yeah,
up
two
being.
letters were, one was the city council and Boundary Commission, one was just the county and the Boundary Commission. So it did, even who they were
Yeah.
addressed to is tricky. I think, at least from the status quo, my understanding, and this was Stephen's last analysis, is the Boundary Commission observes the disqualification. I don't know if they officially disqualify them, as who is the authority to determine that. Really, to your point, Mayor, who is that? Is that an analysis state who provides that? But Stephen's point was the Boundary Commission convenes to observe the formal disqualification. There's 2 points with that, which can be tricky. It gives perceptive standing to the applicants of the objection that they don't have, and it creates a
Right.
worse issue down the line. I don't,
Right.
so I have observed that that is the case, but so that becomes, is it essential for the boundary commission to observe the disqualification, or could it, to your point, Mayor, just be basically legally administrated? You are not of standing, therefore the boundary commission does not need to convene to
Convene.
disqualify. That's the status quo. I think for us is acceptable. It does have legal consequences after the fact.
Right.
As
So
far
I
as the
think we-
perception of standing. So to refine
So
it would
since
be
the
better.
boundary commission, the boundary commission is appointed by the county. I think let's talk to Michael Corey and see if we can get Nathan, because I know Nathan communicates with Stephen.
Mhm.
And if the two of them can provide us with some legal, written, interpretation of the state code that they both can agree on, so that we have it documented in our minutes, and, we don't have this issue again in the future. Because if we don't get it documented now, this body could change and they could go through the same thing all over
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So that's what I would like to suggest, Tori. If maybe Corey, you could go back to Nathan and see if he and Stephen could write us up a legal, because it's going to be between the city and the county, right? The annexation is going
Right.
out of the county into
Right,
the
and
city.
so they should
Both
both
provide
chime
us
in.
with some interpretation. Yep. Do you feel comfortable doing that, Corey?
Yes, I think that sounds
Okay.
good. Yeah, I think if nothing else, we stay where we're at, which is fine. It could be better,
Right.
but fine. If we do improve it, it clarifies things for the applicant. It doesn't activate the boundary commission unless now when something does come to the boundary commission, it's real. It is an actual.
Right,
And
and then,
it's clear.
and then it's not
Right.
left to me to decide whether to
Right.
convene a meeting or not.
That's
When-
and
Right.
Tori, you're the one that was getting pushed both
Yeah.
ways.
I was
So
just
that
like,
way, it's
wait a
just
minute.
it's not a.
I think my last
it is
letter
or
to
it isn't.
Stevens was like, "You're the legal expert. I will defer to you."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks
But
for.
yeah, but I don't agree with you. I mean, that's where I was coming
But-
from. But
No, thank you
so
for
anyway,
hearing this
Corey, if you
policy
could
question. Yeah, this
yeah,
helps.
if you could do that and coordinate that, and then have them give them a timeline too, because we probably won't meet again this year. Maybe we will, but
Well,
if we could,
unless if we clean it up, we probably won't, because there won't
Right.
likely be an affected entity upon this next one. But there will be a number of residents that are objecting, but they
Right,
won't be
that
objecting
we
in the
can-
To that
qualified
one, they
so
will be.
We'd be right back in the same boat if this person decides to
move forward.
notice their annexation.
Yeah, see if we could get something within the next at least 30 days, because I don't think anything's
Okay.
going to happen in 30
No,
days. And they
definitely
can
not.
get that to Tori and Dana and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tori, you could send it out to all of us. Does that sound good?
sounds great. That sounds really
Okay.
good. Thank you. Okay, well, then our next meeting date is February 11th, 2027.
Well, it's good to see everybody.
Yeah.
You
I'm in the
too.
Wasatch right now. It is snowing, but it's snowing on no snow. So it's really bad.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really bad.
We had a drizzle here this morning, Joette, and otherwise it's feels like spring outside.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
It is. I mean,
Weather.
I am shocked. I'm shocked. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
up at 8,700 feet across from Sawtooth Ski Resort. It was rainy. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Big Cottonwood Canyon. It was raining till I got to Cardiff's Fork, and then there was a little bit of snow. So
Crazy.
No,
this
we're
is not
in
a
a
good.
world of hurt, that's for sure.
We are. Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay,
All right.
adjourn. Thank
All
you.
right.
All right.
Adjourn at 4:20.
See you guys soon.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks,
everybody.
Corey.
Thank you.
Bye.